What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Sergey Kovalev and Anthony Yarde, or Yarde. You know, Sergey Kovalev and Anthony Yarde came face to face for the first time. It is in Russia. It will take place on the 24th. Okay. Now, these guys are totally on two different paths. Kovalev has had his ups and downs. Anthony Yarde is a newcomer, okay? Impressive record, 18 wins, 17 by KO, no losses, no draws. Sergey Kovalev, he's 33-3, 1-28. Also, he's killed a man in the ring, so he was known as the boogeyman of the division once upon a time. What I think about this fight, a lot of people ask me about this fight, and let me go by saying this, that Sergey Kovalev said about Anthony Yarde. He said that Anthony Yarde calls himself a lion, but to me, he's a cub. Okay? Now, that may seem disrespectful, but I have to 100% agree. With the opposition that Anthony has fought, the people that he's got in the ring with, there's nothing like Kovalev. But you cannot deny he has raw, hard power. I would prefer him to be a better finisher, but his power speaks for itself. But in regards, he is a cub. He's not a lion until he takes out the lion. That shows that he's a lion. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But as of right now, the cub reference comes in. It's spot on. I would say that's what he would be. And coming up, cub is a little much. But I would call him like a young tiger. A young lion. But he's a cub because he hasn't been in there with no one like Crusher Kovalev. And I've took this day to check out his fights, Anthony Yarde's fights. He has punching power, but I think he lacks a lot of things. And the defense department, he doesn't move his head enough. He kind of has a David Haye-like defense. He loves the shoulder roll, and you got to think, like, how good will that do with a fighter like Kovalev that pinpoints his punches and catches you on the end? I love his rips. I love his left hooks to the body, when he gets inside. But, Kovalev's not an inside fighter. So since Kovalev knows that, how does he intend to get on the inside with Sergey Kovalev to get those shots off? He has a good straight right hand, that he throws out there at times. A straight chopping right hand he lands. But again, the way he has decent upper body movement, but his head movement, due to his style, I think Kovalev will give him problems in this fight. But Anthony Yarde, he does have a lot to prove. He does have the punching power, though, so he can disrupt some things with Kovalev, because Kovalev, he's known to get knocked out. Look at Alvarez. Look at SOG, right? Look at these fights, and Andre Ward wasn't even regarded as a hard puncher. Okay, so, Yarde definitely has a puncher's chance, but my question is, where is he in the experience category when he starts getting caught with those jabs that's busting his face up? Will that deter him for coming in? Because I think that's the only way he'll win, unless he gets on the outside, unless Kovalev gets lazy due to training or whatnot, right? Because we've heard rumors about Kovalev not really being as in shape as he should be based on his lifestyle. So we just have to see. The press conference was very interesting. Wasn't nothing, spectacular, but the fight is on. I'm glad that Anthony Yarde is there, or Anthony Yarde is there and ready to fight. I hope there's no distractions that gives him, you know, that breaks his concentration on fighting Kovalev, because he's going to need all of that fighting the Crusher. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Sergey Kovalev versus Anthony Yarde. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.